So there are many cooperatives throughout Europe, but in this module, we're going to feature the Mondragon Corporation in Spain. So St. Mary's University regularly conducts study tours to Spain with our MMCCU students. So we have a Master's of Management for Co-ops and Credit Unions, and I teach in that program as well. I teach financial reporting. So there's a video in this folder that explains how the Mondragon system works, and I think it's a very interesting concept. And next, we highlight through some case studies how several cooperatives in Canada have been innovative in terms of how they deliver their service. And sometimes we also tend to associate the American economy with pure profit maximization, but there is a significant co-op sector in the United States, particularly electric co-ops. They're quite prevalent. And of course, they have the usual like dairy co-ops and farmers co-ops like we do in Canada. So the economic and social impact is also felt here in Nova Scotia. There's a study that's been conducted by professors from Cape Breton University about the contribution of cooperatives to the economy in Nova Scotia. And co-ops can certainly have an impact in the economy, such as the digital and gig market jobs. Finally, there's opportunities for co-ops to meet ongoing community and individual needs. So co-ops, have been shown to be very innovative. So we're going to start off with the Canadian credit unions, and they've had many innovations over the years. I'm not going to read them all here, but you can see they were the first institutions to lend to women in their own names. They provided the first debit card service. They first ones to come out with branchless banks. The issued social impact bond publicly was launched in Canada. So they've done a lot of different types of innovations that you would have thought would have been first introduced by our 5 big banks in Canada, but that's not always true. And the Canadian credit union sector has been very innovative throughout the years. So other innovations, I'm not going to, like I say, read them all, but just highlight a couple here. Trek Renewable Energy Co-op, they're into the wind share and solar share sector. The Northwest Co-op Community Health in Manitoba is a multidimensional community health co-op. They have people working there who are not only doctors and nurses, but they have physiotherapists, chiropractors, etc. So it's a whole group providing services there. And when you look at Gailey Foods, they provide leadership in governance, and it's focused on farmers, and that's very interesting as well. So in terms of impact, cooperatives have had meaningful impact in terms of access to quality products and services, business sustainability, community commitment, democratic governance and empowerment, equity, diversity, and inclusion, financial sector security and advancement for workers, and growth. And as I've mentioned previously, it's important to recognize that co-ops are not an outdated business structure. They are very long-lasting, which is testimony to their economic and social fortitude. So in recent years, new co-ops have formed to meet current community needs. So for example, in the taxi center, co-ops can be an alternative to driving for Uber, such as Jersey Taxi Drivers Association. This is a cooperative in the UK, which they launched an app to compete with Uber. So by having a co-op, the drivers are not giving up a lot of the money that they take in for a ride. As you know, when you ride Uber, the driver does not get all of the money that you are paying for Uber, whereas that would not be the case, say, if you had a taxi co-op. So the discussion board questions for Module 3 is comprised of 2 questions. The first one, highlight one of the impacts you have discovered of either an individual co-op or credit union or of the cooperative sector more broadly. Share what it is and why it stood out to you as impactful. Again, refer to at least 2 of the module readings to illustrate your points. The second question is, in light of the current economic disruption caused by tariffs or proposed tariffs, describe how the development of a cooperative could be utilized to maximize economic benefits to a community and specific industry in Canada. So you can choose any industry or community in Canada that you would think would benefit from the cooperative business model in light of the current, I guess, challenges that have been brought on by tariffs. So that concludes the video for Module 3.